Так, okay. So, how to draw proportions in perspective? And yeah, so I had this question from subscribers, and I also wonder myself, like, you have
Так, okay.
fisheye perspective. You have this like 360-degree, or maybe it's just like very strong foreshortening in a curvilinear perspective. And how can you calculate extent in which figure, let's say like arms or legs or heads, how they will be changed in this perspective, right? So you want to be super artist, so you can calculate it by yourself without reference, right? Like in your comic book, or let's say maybe you just like you make a sketch for Sakuga or like anime, or you just make some dynamic sketch notes for your comic book pages. So you just want to have already like some kind of idea of foreshortening, right? So you can kind of have some general idea of why this hand should be so big and the head will be smaller than this hand. And here, like these people look so huge while this so small. Like, is there a ratio, like kind of mathematic can help you to calculate it? Some kind of secret knowledge system which make you able to do this? And there is answer for this. Answer is no. Yeah. So okay. So later people will write me like, make tutorial about how to draw proportions in fisheye perspective for beginners. So no, like you cannot be beginner and understand this stuff. It's not for beginners. That's first thing. If somebody will write comments like say like, oh, make tutorial for professors of like a PhD in perspective, Nobel Prize doctors. So same, I don't do this tutorial for professors and a Nobel Prize PhD and stuff. This is for comic book artists, maybe for like anime artists and illustrators. This is like very important here. I will explain you why. What is the point? So, first of all, why we want use perspective, all these principles? It's all about to kind of like you want to draw illustration where it's kind of, let's say, looks right? So you just want to make it look right at minimum. So, and here we have like a viewer. So viewer kind of look at your illustration and he's like, wow, amazing. It's so unusual, but in the same time, everything look so realistic. So everything looks so right. Wow. And the other one, we don't want our drawing to looks off. Yeah, sorry, maybe it looks like I'm make it too simple, but it's important. And what is sync? It's like sync is like we have observation from our regular life, like how we look at the world, like also a viewer, right? Like how he look at the world. We have very same perspective, like in general with everyone. Like we look in the window, we look in the front of us, we look around of us. So we kind of see normal proportions in the normal situations in 99% of time. Maybe in a dream you have some crazy perspective kind of, but no, real world is like everything is kind of moderate with no strong distortions. So what I'm leading to is that by definition, fisheye perspective, like this by definition cannot look right. So it like you can experiment yourself, like find some video reference, find some photograph, like maybe you have fisheye camera, like you can make some photos yourself, and you will notice like if you're really like attentive, right, you will see is like a lot of things look unpredictable and off. They look not how you expect them to be. And this kind of like one of very important quality of such camera angle, of such kind of lens or perspective type, is that is by definition it's surreal. By definition it's not normal. And it's kind of very important for us as artists. It's like we're playing with this thing. It's like, yeah, you need to make it be real while managing in a space of unusual kind of proportions. So let's say, for example, I did some screens from a video. Here is a dude walking in the Bangkok Chinatown with a 360 camera. So notice here some moments. For example, I know how to draw this type of perspective, and maybe you already learned from my tutorials how to build perspective grid, so you can draw any of this stuff. But if you don't have reference, and let's say you will draw a guy walking like under camera, right? So he is your main character, he walking on the road, everything kind of okay. And then you think like you want to draw motor scooter near him. How will you calculate proportions of the scooter, right? So you might like, yeah, use some average principles, like how we use to calculate proportions in perspective. But then it still looks off. So even here on original reference, it's look off. Like for me, it just feels like too tiny, kind of like a toy scooter. And this interesting example, it's also tell you that if you not seen enough of such reference, you just don't have a clear idea what is the proper proportions for this kind of perspective. So you kind of like in your brain, it's a conflict. So when you start to draw this kind of camera, this kind of perspective, and you start to drawing objects around, you already can draw it, but you have a conflict in your brain. You're not sure like how it should look in such perspective, because your brain keep telling you like it should look more normal, and you cannot find this balance, this kind of proper place between this like highly distorted space and the realistic look. So let's say here this car is like, you want to draw car, but here this car is look like like a melted cheese, right? So it's like lost solid quality of car. Just example, like how surrealistic. Or here, like if I will draw this kind of picture, and like in my drawing, I draw him with this proportion, and I draw this lady with this proportion. For me, it will feels like it's like they're too tiny, too small, and I will feel like make it wrong. You know, like I will feel frustrated. It's like, oh my god, spend so much time building perspective, learn perspective for so long time, and in result is look like weird. Like this guy is like he's huge, and everybody here is small. Yeah, he's definitely like very tall guy, but still it's just if it's normal perspective, it will not feels like this. Like here it feels totally unnatural. They're like a toddler kind of size, you know. So I feel like they're like size of his back kind of, you know. So too small. But in the same time it's kind of actual real reference. And I spent like a long time. I was thinking about this tutorial. I was thinking about like how to like find useful and not overcomplicated technique to calculate proportions. So eventually, I just conclude we don't need this for artists, like for art. You don't need to calculate it, because if you will calculate these proportions, it will look wrong. We don't need calculate like weird pictures. Instead, we can do them by ourselves. So why then you will rely on mathematics? Better rely on your creative choice. So knowing that here will be like strong change in proportions, I will make this change by my own choice without over kind of thinking too much with make it like absolutely correct. So I will little more like dig into this subject, so make you clear what I mean. One more here example. Look, like if I draw this picture, like I can draw this kind of view. I can draw this like very crazy fish eye 360 perspective grid, and I draw, let's say, a man walking here like this, like overhead view, and dude riding bicycle, right? I will never draw this bicycle so small. I will like think like, okay, at least he will need to be kind of this size, right? So, and if I will properly calculate it, I will think like I make some kind of mistake. So what do you choose? Eventually you can figure out like some kind of like PhD in perspective. Let's say you figure out like totally scientific approach, and you like maybe use this tiles as model in your perspective, and then you like build it properly and all this stuff, and result where we have some kind of dude riding clone bicycle. It's just like, is this your kind of idea in your picture? You want to show some guy riding like tiny bicycle? Kind of like I will. So what I mean like here, if I don't want to make it look tiny, I will make it bigger. So then I will say for myself, I purposefully draw it not properly, like not proper perspective, like distorted perspective, to make it look for viewer more convincingly, make it look for viewer more realistic. And here, so you see this, guys. Again, it's like for people who already draw in a fisheye perspective and who draw in like some complex perspective, just look at this and tell me what you see. And this also. What's this guy, right? looks like he is diagonal. He is not perpendicular to ground. He kind of a 45-degree angle to the ground. This is how it looks. And these guys, it's not look like they're vertical according to ground. They're not standing. They're also like floating in the air or like leaning on the ground. You see, like just really like look closer. These guys. So yeah, like their motorcycle like little angle, but it's perceived like they're totally flat. They're just like falling down or they're leaning on the ground, kind of this. So, as I say, this kind of perspective, just by definition, weird. It's just weird by definition. Same here. It looks over. It's like they're falling down or they're kind of stuck in the air. And this guy, look, right? It also kind of correlates with this tutorial where I talk about bird view in Akira, when it's like there is a very easy case. But again, my point is not like, oh, surprise, we discover like perspective exists. Point here is that if you don't have much experience observing fisheye perspective, proper proportions will look weird and you most likely you will think they're wrong. So here they don't look wrong because it's a photograph. But if you draw like this, it will look like this one, right? It will look like you're making a caricature. It will not look like you're making realistic proportions in a strong perspective. You see again like what I'm talking about. So these people here, they don't look for me like real people, or they look like their head actually really bigger than normal. And my brain kind of how he reads this, like how brain reads this view. He read it in a way that he cannot imagine them look like with the different proportions. So kind of my brain concludes, say like, oh, their forehead is actually big in the real life, and their kind of glasses is actually very big. So perspective don't change kind of feature of their head. It just makes it bigger, kind of little bigger. When in reality it's distorted, it's like a crazy. They look totally different with different perspectives. They look absolutely different. And let's say, okay, final one more example to explain what I'm talking about. Second. Yes, so it's some from anime Sakuga, right? Так. Let's see. Second, just want to catch some foreshortening. Okay, let's say this one, right? Like, keep it in mind. Just think about it, right? Like, do you think this artist, he measure proportions for this picture? Do you think he measure like distance between figures? Do you think he apply any system to calculate proportions here? Like 100% no. Totally no. Then this one, let's say this one. You see, we have like very cool this, right? Like strong foreshortening. strong foreshortening. Again, strong foreshortening. Okay, and then you might ask, like, why then? What then I am teaching? What is a tutorial about if there is no system? There is a system, but it's important to understand that is no 100% mathematics to calculate this. Так. So you don't use mathematic kind of calculations to figure out these proportions. Instead, what you need is just to learn patterns. Just learn, let's say, learn patterns. So, like these guys in Sakuga anime scenes, right? They just use a reference. So it might be some reference somewhere, or they been using, like, I mean, it can be like directly rotoscoping when they just draw over a video, or redrawing, maybe not like over, but they redrawing is just video, like a Jackie Chan fighting or stuff like this. Or they might be have like photograph which suggest proportions for you. So you don't calculate them, you just borrow these ratios, you borrow these proportions. So what kind of component for here? Так, let me write it. So components kind of image is orientation of objects, right? So like composition elements, like this figure, for example, like where is it, like how it's on the left upper side, this one here, and like how they located according to each other. Then second parameter, it's proportions, so it's like their relative size according to each other, or if we look in object element, so it's like relative proportions of arms, head, or like finger on a hand and a hand to arm, this kind of, and edges. So these edges, is like edges which define and like edge of a object or edge of a form. So like, let's say, so it's like here we have, let's say, kind of edge of a face, or we can talk about edge of hair is cut here, edge. So it's kind of like edge of a form. You see what I mean? So these three elements, we need to manage them to make your image look right. And you need to learn what is kind of proper condition kind of these elements. So they of a particular kind of scene. so they will look right. And like I say, in a realistic kind of normal perspective, like everyday perspective, we already have very good perception and an intuition. But here, you don't have enough intuition to verify your proportions. So instead, you just borrow it from reference. And also, like with learning anything else what you don't know before, drawing a couple times from reference, you will get this idea of how you can safely fake proper proportions. So it's not like you calculated them, but they will look like they're right. Hello, Yukori. So, and this, what your goal here? And so, edges, actually, like a good news, right? Edges we can manage. With edges, it's okay, no problem here. Problem is proportion and orientation. So let's say when you just draw, you want to draw your own very strong, crazy foreshortening fisheye, you just don't have tools to calculate it 100% correct. So you must rely on your intuition or on reference. So this one is kind of a weak spot, kind of just in general for this one. So, and the edges, yeah, what is edges here? Oh, it's kind of not so hard. So edges is what we need perspective grid for. So perspective grid. So like in my video about 6-point perspective grid. So it's like this. And this is our horizon line. This is y vanishing point. So y-axis go like this. Then this is z vanishing point, like front and back, and z-axis goes like this. So it's like also at first time it's look very hard, but after you draw it a couple times it's not so hard. And this x-axis, x vanishing point on the left and x vanishing point on the right, and the x-axis go like this. It's 6-point or like 360 degree. Or we can have, if you use like rectangular frame, so it can be kind of whip. So you make this horizon line, and then again you just find where is your z and x. So they're just perpendicular. If this x, right? Then z will be here. So you just kind of like extend them over horizon line, kind of this. So this axis, this XYZ, they give you direction of edges. So now you can see how these edges will change their proportions in space. So let's say like edges of a box, right? So long length box will have edges parallel to each other. So there's no conversion. Like this edge parallel, just parallel, vertical parallel, X edges parallel. But if it's like 3-point perspective, they all will converge. They all will like diminution in the perspective. So maybe. So it's like 3-point perspective. In a fisheye perspective, box can be like distorted in a very crazy manner, kind of. So, and to see like why and how exactly it will distort it, is this why we need these guidelines of a perspective grid? Because here you see this box follow axis of y, z, and x. See, so when you know direction of behavior kind of these three axes, you can easily like find distortion of edges. But kind of what I was like I explained already many times, this is not enough to have proper proportions and orientation, because like we can easily calculate, let's say if I have box here, so it's like in a average perspective, I can make like calculate proportions of a box in perspective in this standard manner, right? So just making these lines. And I can do with these boxes even in a crazy fisheye perspective. Let's say like this. So it's a Z. So let's say so we have like a first box, right? So now I make like this lines go there, and then I start to looking for other boxes and like how they change proportion in a space. So yeah, it's you can do it with boxes, with the cubes, or like equal boxes in a space, and it's already became like extreme. And then imagine you do same stuff with a human or dog or car. It's like complexity like exponentially grows. It's just like it was like this, and then it's like this, and it just became like so insane it just lost any reason to try do it properly. So we just cut off this part and say like this part, we just manage it intuitively. And so let's here, I will like break down little perspective. So, yeah, maybe also what I need to mention. Yeah, so it doesn't mean you don't need to know perspective. No, you need to have very good perspective, skill, and experience. So you need to know like how to draw fisheye perspective, let's say, or also draw perspective grids for sure. So, and let's say like you just in general you need to be able to draw like people, like boxes. So you know how to properly draw figures in the space and even like find proportions, kind of this, right? Yeah. So because you need this skill, you need this knowledge to work with the reference. Because if you don't have perspective knowledge, or like when you at least like have this axis, like z, x, and y, so you have this axis and you can draw character in this type of perspective, right? So this should be okay for you. So you can like imagine them like boxes, or you already just can draw them as a like form, organic form in a space. So you kind of, you see, you're following these guidelines, right? So you need this ability, you need this clear understanding how it works, and the rest, like apply this skill, this knowledge to this. It's just about fine-tuning accuracy. So we use reference to find like proper, like accurate proportions. So yeah, also one more, last one. What do we see here? Like this 3 photograph. Yeah, 4. Let's take this 4 photograph. So you see like these 2 ladies, their proportions not so like distorted, like head not so big, right? Like here head huge. And here we have also very strong foreshortening, like body change proportions very fast. Here they not so strong again. So it's about distance of this fisheye camera, 360 wide angle camera kind of. So here we can have like so it's like figure standing like this. Again, I see I start to draw in big heads. So in one case, like camera like this, like very close. So it's like with this girl, like camera is very close to her. Or here we can see is like he look in his hand. Yeah, so in other cases, like with these ladies, it's much farther than hand distance, right? So it's maybe like about here. And this also kind of another clue, another point to my discussion here is that how will you calculate this? So if in average, like fish eye, not so strong, like curvilinear perspective, not fish eye, in average, like 2 point, 3 point, and curvilinear perspective, we can use like 8 heads or 10 heads, so we can have like very exact ratio. We can really measure. We can measure distance. We can measure placement. Here, no, it's kind of like it became just idea of it became like useless. You can find probably like way, but this you will go to kind of sphere of mathematics. Like it will be crazy, like making formula of figuring out like distortion, like proportion distortion according to camera distance, and then there's like different angles. It became like impossible. So we just need to understand how to draw stuff in perspective from watching Jinbon tutorials. Just watch my like fish eye perspective, like how to rotate in perspective, this stuff. Then second, what is important, you need to be very clear with how perspective grids work. And then, so 3D form, let's say, right? 3D form plus perspective grid. It's make you able to handle edges. And then 3 reference. For here, you cannot avoid reference. That's it. Very simple. So, and you now, how you work with reference? You apply your knowledge of structure, like perspective grids, and how to draw boxes, how to draw form in perspective. So let's say this one. So I will show you how you can break down. So it's kind of like you extract perspective from reference, and then like you extract it, you say like, aha, so this which kind of perspective grid in this reference. And then you can steal it. So here, look, we're following vertical lines, right? So say, okay, vertical lines, they go into center, they're going. So they will meet somewhere here, right? So this is our Y vanishing point in this. So you can look how lines curve. You don't have like mathematics PhD to have like clear formula. So you instead, you just steal this curvature. You steal this curvature of y-axis. Then let's see z-axis. Okay, z-axis. We see here. All right, we see here. So it's like I don't have answer yet. I'm exploring, right? So we see tiles on the floor. It's also the axis. So it seems like, okay, so we find one Z vanishing point, and we see here is go this, here is a lamp. So if you don't know, if you don't practice with fisheye perspective grids, a photograph will it will be also too hard for you to kind of extract perspective grid from photograph. Так. So let's say, so it's like what I'm talking all the time. I'm not telling like you never should use reference. No, I telling is like you better use reference with like being literate. You need to be more literate so you better understand space, you better understand how 3D works. So you will have much more benefit from reference. And we see it a lot in every famous artist like Moebius. He used references a lot, and it's just difference again, like how beginner use reference because he just don't know how to draw, so he look for a clues how to draw. Literate artist, he look for a reference. Так, so here you see, so this is X here. It's unexpected because this glass have kind of weird curvature. So you see, I wasn't ready for this. It's not like some kind of this X here. So this probably, yeah, so this kind of X here, it's also will be a camera level, kind of like camera horizon level, camera eye level here. So maybe I can take this purple. So this kind of here, right? Yeah, it's going through Z, going through X, take bigger size. So it's like camera eye level on this grid. And we can draw some X. So this left X, this right X, and we see again like tails on the floor. We see this one, and look how curvature goes. I seen all this like different tutorials, like look like everywhere I can, and I find like in the Italian books and Japanese, and there's like proper way to build a kind of fisheye perspective using protractor, extractor, and other kind of tractors. And but there is so many variants when it just doesn't work. It's like, because for artists we deal with much more dynamic situations. So this is kind of here perspective grid, and then maybe use orange. So now you see, I mean, it's very easy how, like this toilet paper in perspective, or what's this? So it's, let's say it's like a box. You see it's all following this grid. So then inside this box there is ellipse, and actually, like with after practice, you don't need to draw it anymore in a box. You can just draw tubes. So same here. So now drawing boxes, drawing all these tubes and any kind of objects is not problem anymore here. And you can rotate them. Like I can draw some stuff on the ground. Like here's some box with a manga. Or like, so I can draw it like parallel to this, or I can rotate. Big question here. It's all this like proportions, how to make them correct. Like why, like make this big, this girl, or like let's say, yeah, she will not so big because she's not so close to camera. Let's say I'm so smart, right? So like no, she's not so close, so her head not so big. Okay, but how about like her body? Like you can still kind of draw it in this perspective grid, but play around with the proportions. So, and actually you will realize there is many way how to draw them wrong, but they will not look wrong. You just need a reference to be your um, indicator. I don't know, like it just help you verify like proper foreshortening and proper proportions. So you can you can compare. So like, yeah, my proportions look wrong, but reference looks even more weird. So it's kind of necessity. So, or let's say, can also break her down. So let's see, 4. So it's like what kind of box here for her head? So, and then we say like, oh, we can transfer proportions and draw here one more character. Like we can make a crowd here. Like here have this guy, right? Cat. The cat was screaming so annoying. So let's say maybe it's like a zombie apocalypse. So then we can look proportion like according to this h of this box. Like where zombie. So like should be very small. Legs here. Kind of this. And maybe like somebody sit here. So I can use some clues to find these proportions or totally rely on a feeling of right proportions. And for viewer, they don't know difference. And in this kind of perspective, just make it look right. This is all point. And if you will like look closer to all this anime and stuff, like Sakuga scenes, you will actually notice how often there is wrong proportions. And you just imagine like how these guys, if they will like stuck too much measuring stuff, they will totally kill this expression, this like powerful, explosive energy. Hello, Erwin. Thank you. Yeah, so let's say this one. Same, it's like very easy find here perspective grid. Так, so you just need to find where is vertical. So here vertical, here vertical. So we can already cross them. So this is our y-axis. Nadir. And then z. So this one, it's z axis. Same, we can like already see where it's going to. It's like here. So this will be, I think, so this should be like eye level for a camera. It's like a horizon line. Так, so also here you see it's a problem with the finding z. So it's here it go like this, but here is too much empty space. So experience will help you here. Так, I see also here. So what I assume, first of all, like I know this like kind of circle of eye level will go like this, right? Second, to find this circle more clearly, I can look to distance between z vanishing point and y vanishing point. So it should be equal distance. So just like here, I jump to here. So this second z vanishing point will be here. So now we have the vanishing point, and let's double check where is x vanishing point. So it's table, ground, table go here, table goes there. So it gives us direction. So yeah, x will be here. And like in this kind of perspective grid, this x and z vanishing points, they're on an eye level, like a camera eye level. Yeah, camera level. This one, right? So often here my ability to find this perspective grid lies just in my knowledge of perspective grids for this type of perspective. Second. It's already here, so I just kind of this, right? So it's our perspective grid here. Which color to use? Orange again. So, and then we say like, okay, if I want to draw this scene in my comic book or somewhere, like this is a table, it can be elevator, it can be like a bar. So maybe this, like a bar. I can draw bar goes like this. And I mean, of course, you can redraw this situation on a paper. So it's not like so difficult. So you need only trace it. It's just I show you example. No, later I will also draw on a paper so you will see it. So, and here barman, we can even make like he's standing, like he's mixing cocktails here. It's like shaking, like shaking the stuff. And there is like bottles here. Так, get careful with the x-axis. So here I have like a shelves with the bottles. And here we have like a bar flies, right? They're like sitting here like a drunk, like, oh, I'm so drunk. more whiskey. And this dude's like, yay. So, like I say, reference here is just like give me some support kind of for even this proper proportions. And this thing is like they just hang it with a 45 angle. So be careful, don't be confused with some weird objects. Так. So, and also notice what is happening. Each time you break down, study, analyze, and first of all, you draw this kind of situation, it became your vocabulary. That's it. Now it's in your library, in your kind of brain. So you can redraw it. So like, right, just this bar stuff, right? Just been drawn. So I just make it very lousy. This is our grid, blah, blah, blah. And then say like, oh, here was a bar. Here was this like bottles, barman. There's another guy. This is three figure here. So once you draw it, you can draw it again. And why you're a very smart artist? Because you're watching my channel, right? So it's like 100% you're a genius. It's because you copy not just kind of, oh, like her hair, this, like I just copy everything, right? Then you will have too much information to remember. So it's kind of not so sharp and narrowed down. You draw and structure, and this structure, it's imprinted in your subconsciousness. It became your memory immediately. No, of course, if you already practice drawing perspective grids. So first, just learn this stuff. It's so simple. Horizon line, Z vanishing point, X vanishing point, and I start to speak Chinese. Like this. So like very easy, just like hieroglyphs, Just like when in a school we was learn like A, B, C, or like 4. You don't born with this. You was learn. Then now for us as artists, you need to learn these patterns. So once you know these patterns, you spend some time to draw until it's became easy to remember. Then you can like quickly break down reference, right? And this case of this particular situation immediately go into your memory. So here, I think it's already clear, like what kind of perspective here, right? Like write me in the chat. I think you already understand all perspective in the world. But okay, let's just, so this Z, maybe like a little move reference. Wait a second. Yeah, it's a little outside. So Z vanishing point. Z vanishing point. Front and back. X, right? There, X, and it's like, okay, kind of here. So then I say, okay, here, It's our y vanishing point. So like I say again, because here we don't have any clear information, right? So I just mirror this distance. So it's like, okay, this go here. Kind of here should be x vanishing point. It's kind of here. So horizon line, eye level, camera level. So it's kind of like a CIA work here. We are like breaking down perspective, and now I give you my like conclusion. Who is holding camera? Who? I think this hand holding camera. So camera is here, in like invisibly, kind of somewhere in this area, because it's this like forehead camera on the edge of their forehead. You see? Superpower. So, and now we have this, we see like a Robocop or Neo from Matrix. You can see this perspective grid here, and you can see like what kind of boxes they are. Think, who you think you are? Box. Так, so, and yeah, this one, very peculiar one, some kind of this. And then for body, can so I can break them as boxes, or I can break them as tubes. So there's her hand, go here, and there's like shoulders. So you see, let's try to draw some figure here. Like here will be not much distortion for figure. Some dude sitting on their Xerox. And maybe here is a Spider-Man. Like, wait a second. Here is a camera. Here is Jim Bond spying on us. So I have no idea if this like ratio proportions proper for Spider-Man here. Who cares? You see kind of like where I'm leading. All this video is like you have so much freedom actually with proportions in a fish eye. You just need reference to encourage yourself, because reference actually looks wrong. It's just a fact that is photograph make you think kind of there is it's like, yeah, it's wrong, but it's okay. It's like, like I don't know, like in the government somebody, yeah, he look like idiot, he talk like idiot, but he in the government, so he must be genius. No, same here, because like, oh, it's a photograph. So it's everything fine. But you see is like very weird. See is like just look if you draw like this, right? What is this? You will think you make it wrong. So tiny legs. So here I say like draw like Spider-Man, some kind. So it's like Spider-Man with Uzi. Mm, some gear. Okay, and the last one example. Так. It's again back to this guy, which is really helpful. Wow, look, here stuff going wild. It's very cool because here we have like y-axis is bent like crazy. So let's say dun, 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 dun. Okay, let's do this. Так. Vertical lines. Like, so it's like y vanishing point. So if you kind of prefer work digitally, I think maybe you can also like steal perspective grids like this. So you kind of like put and drop it into your Photoshop or Clip Studio, trace perspective grid, and then it will be a perspective grid for your art. And it's like at least as a first stage of practice and fish eye perspective, it's totally fine. It's not like cheating if you never did it. It's just kind of first step. So then the vanishing point, we can see it. It's just so cool, right? Like you look how many crazy opportunities you have with this stuff. And it's like uh, power which you even wasn't dream about. Like ability to draw such insane perspective, to blow people's minds. It's kind of what. And X. So in this one, X is more complicated, but yeah, we have horizon line actually. So let's define horizon line. So it's camera camera level. So now when we know horizon line and we know where is Z, where is Y, wait, why I draw Z again? Remember, now it's give us, because we know structure of this kind of perspective grid, it give us idea where X vanishing point might be. So it will be somewhere here, right? Somewhere in this area, because it should be like 90-degree angle. It's just in this strong for a kind of curvature, like weird curvature here. It's hard to see 90-degree, so I will look for clues. So I see like this building here, this here, this one, kind of pointing towards X vanishing point. So I see like do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. I make like a Adams Family music. So somewhere here, X. Uh-huh. X. So now if you watch like my video for like 3 hours, you will dream about perspective. You will sleep and see perspective grids tonight. And there will be like Lady Gaga singing for you, like, oh, oh, oh la la, special perspective. Oh. Okay. Cool, huh? So let's even like make a screenshot of this. So, and I will show you how this look without photograph. Yeah, and look, will you ever draw such weird car? It's even hard to say. I mean, honestly, like, can you recognize what is this? Is like, probably it's a van, but it might be also like a truck. It's like proportions distorted so much. So let's change it for another vehicle. Let's make it cabriolet. So here will be this kind of anyway, it was just for fun. So let's draw this kind of reference, this kind of perspective on the paper. Так, this is guys. Here will be y vanishing point. Так. And here this z vanishing point. Like I said, like about on the same distance will be second z vanishing point. then about same distance here will be x vanishing point. And like I say, about, because this is where you have flexibility, because actually, like, if we have this kind of cross here of y-axis, right, this y-axis give us cross, and you don't need to make this kind of horizon line, because this will be like camera level horizon line, right? It's not necessary to be symmetrical. You can shift it, and like we just did in reference with the guy walking in Bangkok. So here you see it's z, x, and you can bend y-axis, and you will not find it in books. It's just you can find it only here, because I did these studies, just take some reference, like take some material from real life, break it down, and you find new patterns. It's not always in the books. Sometimes you need to find them yourself. Так, so here we have x here, z here. Then x goes here. Boom. Boom. Right. And z goes like this. Now compose, arrange this orientation and proportions. So like where is our characters? So let's say we have table, we have this character, and it's like I noticed already it's like forehead on the camera level. Here it's forehead of this lady, like who's looking at you right now. She's looking at you, like why is she looking at you? Because you need to subscribe and push link. So like, did you subscribe already? You. Так. So then here her hand on a gun. And she have like glasses here. This one also have gun. Yeah, let's make sure also sit with a gun. This one have a rifle. So here we have a corner of a room. And also draw somebody. Так. Someone here. Yes. Should have like a huge head. Don't know, we'll see. So I don't know what happened here, why they all have guns and they're like not handle them properly. Some kind of gang. Because You should never point gun to people. Так. Так. Now let's indicate like construction of their heads. Okay. This is kind of cartel office. We can also borrow some jacket. I need your perspective grid, jacket, and motorcycle. Dun 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 dun. Bam, dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. What about my what about what dun 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 dun. Tak. Somebody's stealing our perspective grid. Avenge. Here's a dude from real world. He's stealing our perspective grid. Security. Emergency in the office. See, so many people watch and so little likes. No, it's my clock. Madness. So nobody will know I steal this perspective grid. It's my drawing now. It's mine. My precious. So, kind of going under jacket. Here you have First time drawn upside down. Some kind of rainbow here. So she's This one looks crazy. Look, danger. It's like he been waiting for this moment. Still maybe put cup of coffee here. Little coffee. Так. Так, maybe here. Here, this wall can make this chair. So kind of logic here is farther object from camera, less foreshortening they will have. So basically, like when objects far from camera, it became like 3-point curvilinear perspective. Так, so like this guy here. So look, like here crazy distortion, foreshortening, right? And here it's already like 3-point perspective. He just like this. So now I need to think for this guy. Like he's not so close, so maybe he don't need to have big head. Yeah, maybe like this will be enough for him. Also check with the horizon line. Mm. This is too low. Move him up. So, here. So horizon line about this high here. Some guy with a ear. Так. So here. this. Okay, what's this? So you see, because we don't have dude in the reference, I just need to decide myself like how strong distortion kind of will be here. So it's like some kind of AR-15 from imagination. How is there? Uh, I still need to draw like at least 50 pages for motorcycle book, but you can actually look pages from my book in Patreon. So I'll give you a link to my Patreon. I publish my how to draw motorcycle book in Patreon. So you can watch digital. Because it's hard to say when I will finish this motorcycle book because I constantly distracted for other jobs. Так, years. Let's put Xerox here. This floor. So let's see. What can draw here? We have two windows. So this is the vanishing point. And corridor. Okay, corridor. Some dude in the corridor with a gun. So everybody with the guns here. Maybe this like helicopter in a window. So to the chopper. Again, it's the Schwarzenegger back from space. I am back. And now, everybody to the chopper. It's like so weird angle, so it became like pointless to draw helicopter. Okay, maybe one more try. Oh, to just draw buildings. It's a long time no madness. But
Madness. This is Jane Bond art.
Hello, Chill Bill. I never answer a question like when I start to draw. And actually, I just lie. Sometimes I answer. But it's pointless question because people so different and the kind of circumstances are very different. And also, like, in some cases, like, adults actually learn much faster than children. So it's kind of like there is period when you like very early, like 5 year old. If you're very lucky and you're in a very like culturally rich environment, like have a lot of artists, like real professionals, smart and genius around you, at this age you can become like genius in art if you start from this age. Then here's like I don't know, like before like 16 maybe. This, I don't know what to say about this period, like very average period, hard to say anything. And you better like just develop yourself at this period if you're not so lucky. You can like study language, which is more important, like study foreign language, because children study very fast. Go to piano class, go to some like grow healthy and educate yourself in general, study history. And about 60 you can learn very fast, because if you're not stupid, because if you was develop well in this period, so you have a good education, you use your brain, at 60 year you will be very smart and you will learn very fast. If you was like Disneyland all your childhood, or just play computer games, then at 16-year-old you have like 8-year-old brain, or even like 4-year-old brain, like of monkey, something like this. So you need, now you start to do this what you should do before. Now you start to just get some general development, general education. And then about like 26, now you can learn very fast. You can learn art super fast at this age, because you have a brain, you know how to learn, you have discipline, and kind of, yeah, you're just a good material, like fertile soil. So it's very subjective, like when you start, how much time you spend. It's like don't give you much information. What you should, more important, like actual, what you should to answer for yourself is how serious you are. So do you ready, like dedicate all your life to this, for this? If you're not ready, then you are not kind of, it's not your thing yet. You not decide yet, right? Because it's not easy and the results is not fast, and the success is not fast. And sometimes success come, you feel like, oh, like I have everything I never dream about. It's like I'm so lucky. I'm a super professional genius with a lot of clients and attention. And then after 5 years, you have nothing, you know. So you should not expect anything from it. It just should be your life. Like, do you ready? Dedicate all your life for drawing. Just live as artist constantly. All your life you need to study. All your life you will improve, because you more you learn, more you criticize yourself, and more you see like where you can improve. It's never ends. So it's like kind of like idea of learn to certain level, so you will finally like a good artist and you're happy with yourself. It's kind of very amateur kind of approach. Yeah, it always will be easier and more fun when you're more educated. But actually, if you get to this level, you also get addicted to challenge. So you don't afraid and don't see problem in a challenge anymore. You love challenge. You want to deal with hard work. You like, yeah, you know how to draw this, you know how to draw that, but you want to do something you never did before. Like maybe like draw like fish eye perspective. I don't know, like or draw like you never draw horses, like, and you draw only sci-fi, right? So now you decide to try and make like a Western comic book. So now you draw like cowboys all the time, and you kind of like you need to learn like history, like what kind of weapons they use, like how the trains looks at this time, all this reference. You need to learn how to draw muscles on the horses, you know. So it's never stop. You never stop like improving, and this you should kind of this how I think you should find kind of joy in this. Like for me, I was like when I decided to be artist, I just figure out it's like it's something I will never be like because I tried different jobs, I've been doing different stuff, and everything I try after like 1 month you get sick of it. It's just like I can't do it anymore. It's now like I will throw up. It's like so tired of the stuff, like same stuff every day, again and again, again and again. Nothing interesting, nothing new. You start to like just can't see it anymore, right? And so then I realized like drawing will never make me feel this way. I never get like sick and tired of drawing, and this kind of all you need is just like you can do it all your life. It's not about easy or fast or result or how soon you will get somewhere. No, it's just about you need to do something in your life. You need to be active. In this, what you do, you need to like fully dedicate yourself to it. You don't have like a backup kind of like say runaway plan, right? Like say like yeah, I try. If I'm good, I will try something else. Oh, it's kind of nothing else. At least this is how I answer this kind of questions. And like I also know a lot of different people, like different professions. If I'm not imagining it, I think I remember it correct. They kind of say me same thing about any profession. So nothing is easy. If you want to do something well, it's always hard. So this path to arrive to get to kind of to this level to be able to do something well, you need to get through hard path. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of try and error, a lot of like embarrassment and frustration, like a hero journey kind of, right? You can feel whatever in a way, but you, no matter what happen, you keep doing it. Like World War III begin, like there were nuclear bombs flying around. You have sketchbook with yourself, and like you draw some sketches, you know. Так. And you watch Gene Bond tutorials, Gene Bond art. Так, let's see here. It's like alien invasion. You draw them. It's like, wow, so cool. Look at this. Lasers, like stuff. Or maybe like if you like donate me like 100 bucks, I will write essay about how much time it take for me to learn. But it's kind of more help just to study essentials. Do your best. Especially now, I think like AI art, all this stuff. AI will just like um, take all this average kind of outputs. So if you don't have serious intentions, uh, you cannot compete kind of with AI because it's AI will manage kind of all average kind of low passion work, all this kind of technical drawings, all this fake on um, superficial kind of popular art. You know, like already AI makes songs, right? Or like with the lyrics, like pop stars, right? Because it's just, I don't know what to say. It's just kind of rhyming nonsense, and AI can easily do this. So it can just like produce pop music um, hundreds every minute. And if you want to be like not just somebody who can draw, but artist, like yeah, you need to have dedication level. You need to be like very highly motivated. So nothing will stop you. Так. And even like when you will stop, you will return. And this will be your kind of journey. When eventually you get to level where you can do your outstanding like creative work. Так. Or if you if your question like how fast you can learn perspective, like I say, if you're like 12 plus, you can learn perspective like in 1 year, in 2 year maximum. Essentials learn very fast. Like 1 month you can learn all essentials. Then all it's a specific. Like what exactly you want to draw in perspective. You want to draw car in perspective? Okay, you go specifically study how to draw car in perspective. You want to draw people in perspective? Okay, you need to study how to draw people in perspective. So like as much as like if you want to draw everything perfect, it will take forever. So depends on where is your specialty, like what exactly you want to learn to draw and for what, like for comic books, for illustration, for oil paintings. You want to make exhibitions in a gallery, or you want to make publish books with like illustration books, or it will be comic book. So what is very important, like what exactly you want to do. You not just learn to draw. It's kind of important to realize this is a delusional approach, kind of. It's very ineffective approach when you just kind of like, I just want to be good artist. No, there is no such thing as a good artist. Everybody bad artist, you know. So you can be good in a specific thing. Like I explore, you know, so many artists. Somebody like great in drawing like live portraits, like can draw like whole body portraits, like nudes or like very like hard poses, dynamic poses, whatever, like very good. But he cannot draw comic book. He cannot draw like imaginative scenes, kind of, right? He don't have this like flexible creative system. So what, you can call him bad artist? Or like how about like comic book artist like Todd McFarlane, for example? If you compare him to some like academical artists, he will look like a beginner, you know. But these academical artists, they cannot create some like mind-blowing iconic work. So what is your direction? What is your specialty, kind of? You need like, yeah, I understand, like at the beginning you might not sure, you don't have experience, maybe you don't know, like many people don't know. Some people from beginning know exactly, like say I want to make comic books or something like this. In any way, at some point you need to be clear exactly, and you need to start doing it. So you not study to be good enough to start do something what you want. You start do what you want, and you study to make like better quality work. That's it. This way you will improve very fast. Because you have like clear direction. You have like focus, kind of. You narrow your subject. So you have like, and it's also like, it became your motivation because you immediately can apply this knowledge. You immediately can see how your work became better quality. Because so often, like, yeah, you study how to draw cats, how to draw dogs, but then it's like, oh, I want to draw transformers on the moon. It's like, why you've been drawing cats so long time? Why you've been studying them? It's like, yeah, it's also good, kind of. Maybe one day you will need to draw cats, but right now you're frustrated because like 1 year you study cats and you don't have skills to draw transformers. So it's like demotivating a lot. Uh, so have, dun, 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 dun. Yeah. So and also, yeah, of course, perfect if also if you find like some work related to art, like assistant or in an art studio. It's perfect, but it's very lucky. Oh, so many artists. Um, yeah, so many artists. Like it's even hard to say, but like I like. Yeah, you can watch actually videos in playlist masters in my channel, and this is my favorite artist there. It's the artist who I study and break down on my channel. So because like this, what I also say, you find your favorite artists, right? And you need to analyze, you need to study, break down their work because it's important for you. You when you study their work, you also better understand why you like their art, and this help you to find your own style because you always first of all you being kind of you start to think about making art because you've seen somebody else work. So other artists, this your favorite artist, is this people who inspire you, who like ignite you to become artist, to start make art, right? So subconsciously you want to be like them, you want to draw something look like their work. So now like knowing this, you go and like face it, you go directly and say like, okay, this is my favorite artist. Now I need to understand what is their work about, like how they do it and why I like it. And when you break it down, when you redraw it, when you it just help you look closer, it help you to um, discover a lot of nuances which is you're not discover if you're not draw, if you just kind of look like average viewer. So yeah, like look, go to my folder like masters or this playlist, and there you can also see how you should break down a favorite artist, and there is all my favorite artists and like most favorite, but there is a lot of more. So like in the comic books, like environment wise and the storytelling wise, I like Tsutomu Nihei. He's like very cool because he can kind of create um, drama atmosphere, and he make his art, his visuals, like work very strong for a story. Like it feels like a dream, you know. It's like really grabs you, take you inside. Also, yeah, maybe Masamune Shiro. Anyway, just go to look playlist masters. Так. Okay, so let's stop it here. We'll do some more videos about this. I have many cool reference. Yeah, check out this reference. Let's check out this. So this I find a video about security camera on YouTube. In this camera, making this 360 view, right? And here they have this like computer program. So where you can also digitally kind of break it down into different cameras. So you see this fisheye view, and here we have like this frame. It's this view. This frame. It's this view. So, like I say, on this area, not in the center and not close to camera, stuff look like 3-point perspective. So look, this like curvilinear 3-point perspective inside this frame. Inside this frame is a curvilinear 3-point perspective. Same here. And the app, this like AI, strengthen this axis, so it's not curvilinear, it's just 3-point perspective. You see? So yeah, maybe we'll do other video talking more, and also we'll talk about this. Don't know why. Like, if write me in the comments if you want to draw this kind of stuff. This one looks cool.
Madness.
Okay. Yeah. See you next video. Follow, subscribe, and share.
Madness. This is
Gene Bond Art.